All right, let's talk about the one resource that's more valuable than your time, even more valuable than your money, your personal energy. And we're not talking about some vague, mystical concept here. We're going to dig into the hard science to show you exactly how to stop the leaks and reclaim your power for good.
So, does this sound familiar? You wake up, you got your 8 hours, you did everything right, but by 10 a.m., you feel like you've already run a marathon. You haven't done anything physically demanding, you've just, answered a few emails, maybe taken a call. So what is actually going on here?
Now, this might sound a little dramatic, but I want you to stick with me because it gets to the absolute core of what we're exploring. The truth is, your energy isn't just disappearing on its own. It's often being actively pulled from you in a kind of invisible economy that's running in the background of your life.
And here's the first major mindset shift we have to make. We've got to stop thinking about our energy as just a vibe or a mood. It's not. It is a physiological reality. It's a measurable biological resource, and you should think of it just like a bank account. It's finite, and it can absolutely be overdrawn by bad investments and, well, unauthorized withdrawals. So to protect this account, we first have to understand the biology behind it. Let's get into the science of your brain's own internal accounting system, something neuroscientists call the body budget.
Okay, this is really cool. For the longest time, the old idea, homeostasis, was that our bodies just reacted to stress. Something bad happens, we react. But the new science of allostasis shows that's not the full story. Our brain is actually a prediction machine. It's constantly trying to guess what's coming next. So the moment you even think about that stressful meeting, your brain makes a huge withdrawal from your energy budget, spending resources before the event even happens.
And the biggest spender in your entire biological system? It's your brain. I mean, think about this. It's only about 2% of your body's weight, but it devours a staggering 20% of your daily energy. It is the high-maintenance CEO of your whole operation. And a huge chunk of that energy goes right here to your prefrontal cortex. This is the CEO, the part of your brain that handles logic, planning, and good decision-making. But notice the key vulnerability. Under stress, when your body budget is low, it's the very first department to go offline. This is the biological reason you can't think straight or make good choices when you're feeling totally drained.
So, if your brain is the biggest spender, where are the major leaks? You might be surprised to learn that it's often not about what you're doing, but who you're doing it with. So let's diagnose the most common drains on your energy account.
Okay, this concept is fascinating and frankly a little terrifying. Your brain has these things called mirror neurons, and they're designed to help you empathize. But here's the catch. When you're around someone who is chronically negative or anxious, your brain doesn't just observe their stress, it literally simulates it. You catch their emotional state, and your body starts pumping out cortisol as if their drama was actually your own. You are paying the biological tax for their chaos.
And this emotional contagion is often exploited, intentionally or not, by what we can call energy vampire archetypes. Do any of these sound familiar? You've got the narcissist, who always has to one-up your problems. The victim, who just wants to use you as a dumping ground for their negativity. The drama magnet, who keeps your nervous system in a constant state of high alert. And the controller, who drains you by making you justify your every move.
Okay, enough diagnosis. We've identified the problem. Now for the solution. And this isn't about wishing other people would change. It's about implementing clear tactical protocols to defend your energy. This is how you take back control.
The single biggest mistake we all make is falling into what's called the J.A.D.E loop. When you set a boundary, say no to something, our natural instinct is to soften the blow by explaining why. But the second you start to justify, argue, defend, or explain, you've just handed them an invitation. You accidentally turned your boundary into a negotiation, and that debate is incredibly draining.
So, here is the fix. It's a simple but incredibly powerful shift in communication. Instead of explaining the why, you simply state the what. So instead of, oh, I can't come to the party because I'm super tired and I have to get up early, which just invites them to solve your problems for you, you just state the fact, I won't be able to make it. See the difference? It's not a reason up for debate, it's just a reality.
Now, for the more persistent energy drains, you might need a more advanced technique. It's called the gray rock method. The goal here is simple. You become as boring and uninteresting as a plain gray rock. You give them nothing. Short answers, neutral expression, you deny them the emotional reaction they're feeding on. But, and this is critical, be ready for what's called an extinction burst. When you first do this, they will likely escalate their behavior to try and get that reaction back. Counterintuitively, that's the #1 sign that it's working. You have to hold the line.
This is a perfect example of how to handle attacks in writing, like in an email or text. Look at the left. That's our natural reactive response. We get defensive, we argue, and we just fuel the fire. Now look at the right. That's a B.I.F.F response. Brief, informative, friendly, and firm. You just state the facts calmly, maintain a professional tone, and you shut the conversation down. This one shift can save you a massive amount of energy.
Okay, so these tools are your defense. But true energy sovereignty isn't just about playing defense. It's about actively rebuilding your reserves and adopting a completely new mindset for the long haul.
Let's talk about rest for a second, because most of what we think is rest is actually what you could call fake rest. Mindlessly scrolling social media feels relaxing, but it's still high-input stimulation that actually makes your decision fatigue worse. True active recovery is different. It's things that get you into a state of flow, like taking a short walk, cooking, or working on a hobby. These kinds of activities actually clear stress hormones out of your system way more effectively than just sitting still.
And please, if you take nothing else away from this, let this sink in. Setting boundaries and protecting your energy is not a selfish act. It is a strategic one. It's about preserving the best version of yourself for the projects, the goals, and the people who actually matter and truly deserve your contribution. You simply cannot pour from an empty cup.
So I'll leave you with this question. Just take a moment and really think about it. Think of all the things you could create, the goals you could finally achieve, the kind of parent, partner, or friend you could be if you weren't constantly leaking energy. Who will you become when you finally reclaim your power?